is Simon Partridge and Terry Cleaver for Dover Community Radio, and we are doing a very important interview in the history of maybe Charlton Centre and Dover Art. And we have here a young gentleman named
Christopher Burke,
and he has been doing a lot of good research and artwork. But today, especially at the Charlton Centre, there is a showing of his photographs. And now Terry and myself are going to discuss him and ask him what sort of avenues he thinks he's approaching, where does he think he's going, why does he do these pictures, what he means by them, what he's going to do with them, how also they fit in with Dover, because they are primarily of Dover.
How long is this interview going on for?
Well, as long
my response to that. You've got enough questions there for an hour, I should think.
That's right, exactly.
Well, this is my card, and it says here, Christopher Burke, Urban Observer.
There's definitely a lot of urban observers.
So that's what it's about. I'm an urban photographer, basically, or at least in this role I am.
Has that been a driving force for you? Or is it just one of your hats?
Well, it's gradually in the last few years I've focused more and more on this kind of work. Because in the past I've done a number of things, performance art, painting, drawing, and I still do that. I still practice it. But more and increasingly in the last few years, since I actually did a short course in urban photography at Goldsmiths College, it gave me a route from there. That's so nice. I could see I had in common what I was doing was urban photography, and there were other people doing the same similar kind of thing. And so that's really where it sort of took off, I suppose. So more and more, it's been that has been what I've been practicing, urban, as I understand it. Now, I didn't know when I first was doing it that that's the genre. Okay.
So, to you, what does urban photography actually mean?
Well, it's your immediate environment, where you live, where you exist, and much of the time, visually, we take for granted. So we don't, because we're going about our businesses, our daily business, we don't actually pay much attention or see it. So I've had the privilege of being able to walk around with my camera or whatever and observe the environment in which we exist, we live here. And I've attempted to give this is coming out of a series of walks I did a couple of years ago around Dover. And I've tried to make it representative of the several walks I made. One was, if you realise, was along the river, following the path of the River Dower. The other one was the pier, of course. Very interesting that was fascinating to me, the pier. Especially the little cafe at the end. And then the other ones were around the town, including the Charlton Centre, this area here, along the London Road, and also up on the hillsides, just immediately out. So I like to think you get a kind of idea from these images of what is Dover for the people who live here. You know, from within 10 minutes, you can walk from that road there, where the butcher's shop is. You can walk up the side of the hillside, and you've got that view there over the water or towards the castle.
What myself and Terence really wanted to ask, looking at your photographs, we thought each of them is actually a conundrum. Would you agree?
Right. Well, yes.
Not only tells a story, but it's a little secret key to know just where it is or what it's trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I certainly try to evoke questions. I don't want to make photographs which are absolutely obvious what they are. I want to pick things which I think, this is going to make people look a bit more and ask questions.
So this is quite a conscious as well as an unconscious.
Oh yeah.
Attitude. Wow.
Yeah, well, it's also, it's the whole point of it. It's a two-way thing. You looking and what you see,
and also it promotes a love of Dover, and actually anywhere, any urban environment has those sketches of how it seems and is within the hub of their being.
Yeah,
do you feel that?
Yes.
So why are they of Dover? Is that because that's where you landed, or is that just because you feel you want to concentrate on one subject rather than that, like the whole urban sprawl?
Well, I've done lots of other walks. I mean, basically they're walks with a camera. This is not the only one I've done, but I had the opportunity to show work here in this studio, and I thought carefully about what might be appropriate for this particular gallery. And it struck me that these photographs that I took about 2 years ago are of Dover, so why Dover? I mean, I've got photographs of London, I walked the London Loop and the Capitol Ring and stuff like that. But
so you've got a reservoir of pictures?
Oh, yeah. I'm doing stuff of Shepherd's Well where I live. But these, I thought, well, this is Dover, let's do these. And then I went back to look at them. I thought, oh yeah, right, this is interesting. This stuff, I've forgotten all about it. So that's how it came about.
All photography's got a sense of mystery in there. You seem to carry on very well.
Well, it does require some skill and art to create that mystery.
Which ones
to ask questions or to admire things, like I admire certain things. There's a whole variety of reasons why, like that amused me. And yes, it's a lovely little that archway over that doorway.
So you captured the architecture of it.
Yeah, exactly, the architecture. There's also a composition here, very interesting. A nice tonal values, the dark brick against the white that they've painted, and then you've got this darker white there. But yes, I mean, and the little smiling man. That's just one of these streets up here somewhere on the hillside.
Is that one of your favourite puzzles there?
There are several like that. Pardon?
Is that one of your favourite puzzles, maybe? Or photographs?
What, this one?
That one there with the haunting smile with the gargoyle.
I did like it, yes.
Over a door.
Yes, I do like it, yes. And then here you've got the texture of the brickwork. And again, it's a composition.
Do these sites just prompt themselves to you? It's almost as if you'd planned the higgledy-pig nature of the picture and the architecture and the building work you're portraying and field work.
Yeah.
It's almost as if somehow you'd actually magic a collation of images into that one image.
I'm not quite sure.
I'm just saying the image. Your images have a quality that is Burke-like. It takes you out of yourself and into the picture.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to do.
And it gives you a route into who you are through something which is quite placid and unmoving, something that is moving and vital.
Right. Well, you could say these are a self-portrait. They're saying a lot about me because of what I've chosen, what I've actually chosen to be worthy of looking at, to be seen.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Yeah. So this one I love this. I mean, this is an ancient, one of the historical field, wasn't it, Odo? It's something to do with...
He was the brother of William the Conqueror.
Ah, right, there we are. So Odo Road, I mean, the historic significance of that is incredible. On this nice Edwardian house here.
It's completely different in its historical context, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
I also like the way on the Prince of Wales pictures, you've got pictures within a picture on the Windows one. You're capturing different images of the town.
I said they were like mirrors.
This one. Yes, that really struck me when I saw that. I've got several of those, and I had to choose them. But those were the most interesting, I think. But yes, so instead of, you've got this conventional idea of the pretty scene, the chocolate box scene,
sort of raw and
which
idyll.
I didn't want to do that. But at the same time, I wanted to be conscious of the scenery of Dover. So you're seeing the cliffs through here, but they're not in your face. No, you're seeing them through this interesting thing in the foreground, which is also,
quite rustic as well, isn't it?
There's different textures on there, isn't it? That grabs your eyes first, and then you're caught by the cliffs within.
So are you teaching how to see, or just helping to see further?
Well, I think it's an aid, isn't it? It's an aid to people. If you walk out of here, it often happens to me, if I've been to an art exhibition or a photography exhibition and I walk out, I start seeing things. Oh God, yeah, look at that over there.
Yes.
You look at things differently.
Yes, exactly. That's what it's about. Looking again, helping you to see things for the first time in a different way, instead of just something. Well, I just live here, don't I? I just work here. I walk from A to B and. This one I particularly like because some of them I took were just the straight road down the pier, but here at the corner, so it makes this fantastic composition. What's that painter's name? He went abstract. What's his name? Saw a while back at the Turner Contemporary.
Klee, maybe.
And there was all these lines going across.
What's his name?
You can't conjure up his name, can you?
A Mongol emperor called Kublai Khan, who's the grandson.
Degas.
No, he's not Dutch anyway. It'll come back to me in a minute. But his stuff is geometrical, and then you can see within what is abstraction?
Different.
There's no such thing as abstraction. Everything's abstracted from reality.
Everything's edited, isn't it?
Oh, that suggests a further mirror into your work. I've just seen abstraction. Yeah. So you would actually
if you do a composition but they're all thought out with composition in mind.
You would align with
verticals and horizontals.
Like in a so in some ways like Miro with the lines and the dots of colour, in some ways like Van Gogh and like the blocky pieces and the concatenation of images maybe.
Yeah, there's a certain surreal element.
Have you got a salon
in that, for instance? You've got this clash of the outside and the inside.
You've got the reflection of the opposite side of the street in it.
And at the same time, I haven't just taken a photograph of the old town hall, but you can see it there.
So capturing Dover life in that picture.
Exactly. But it's part of the context of the urban environment.
Have you got a salon that you work with, or is your work are off your own bat?
What do you mean by that?
Have you got a small salon of photographers whose work is implying the same thing?
Yeah, I do. I take part in. There's an organisation called the London Independent Photographers, and I was introduced to that when I did this urban photography course at Goldsmiths a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I still keep up with that, and they hold annual exhibitions in London, and we meet. Well, I meet, the group that I go to is in Greenwich. I don't go every month, especially during the winter, but I try and get there as much as I can. So we meet once a month in Greenwich, at the Greenwich Gallery it's called, and people show their work and discuss their work, and you get sort of feedback on what you're doing. And then there's another one that I sometimes go to, it's actually at Goldsmiths, and again, people bring their work, show it, and we discuss it.
So
it's very helpful.
If somebody wanted to access your work, what would they do? Are you on Facebook?
No, but I'm still thinking about how to do that. Somebody mentioned, what was it called? Something else, not Facebook. It's more limited. Not everybody can see it, because I'm a bit suspicious of that. Because if everybody can see it, they can just take your work and appropriate it. So I'm not too keen on it. But the other one, there's another kind of.
And then there's Pinterest or something where people put their own photography up.
Yeah, there are a few like that, but I haven't got around to it yet. But it's sort of at the back of my mind about doing it, because it's a way of opening up, communicating, seeing work and getting a response.
Where were you hoping to shine then? In the world of photography or art or music maybe? So I know you have your fingers in many pies.
Well, you have to make a decision in the end. It wasn't music, it was always been performance, because I did think it a while, and I still sometimes think about the theatre, acting. But I brought it together when I did this. Well, I did a BA in fine art as a mature student.
Did you actually manage to get there? Did you manage to pass?
I did manage, surprising as it may seem. Yes, I did.
Wow,
I completed it. But there I got the concept of performance art, and that brought a lot of stuff together. A lot of stuff. This is a performance.
You're telling a story in every picture, aren't you?
So it's it's very like you, isn't it? The pictures, say the sort of things you would want to say.
Well, I like to think they do. I hope they do.
Not everything tells a story. Everything tells your story.
And also, what I've tried to do is to not too much, but figures in photos. I think that's really important. It's urban photography. It's about the urban environment, which means including people. But I don't want to overdo it.
Do you find figures easy?
Well, a lot of it sometimes a happy accident. I mean, they were there when I went along there. Same as him. I took a few other photos of him, and then suddenly he got this fish.
We were wondering
this fish.
What sort of fish it was.
Oh, I think it's a dogfish.
Some bright,
Dogfish.
Some bright spot thought it was a Dover sole. And Terry and I saw that virgin sand shark.
Yeah.
Beautiful, isn't it? Have you just caught it then? When
Yes, that second, that minute, yeah.
So you were in the right place.
Yeah, I was.
It was a martyr to a cause, wasn't it?
Very important. I mean, that's why there's a big element of luck in it, of course. Plus the weather, because most of these, the weather was kind.
Do you have a favourite picture out of all of them?
Well, I think the ones which are ambivalent, which is like this sort of thing, where you've got a tension between more than one image, or this one here, where you've got the other side reflected, the housetops and the buildings on the other side. So there's this tension between. So actually, we're not looking at it; it's a reflection.
Is there an element of sadness there? Then
I don't find it sad. I think it's a good composition, but it's saying something about Dover, especially about the London Road, because you walk down it. There are loads of places they open, shut, close down.
And also like little happinesses as well, maybe.
Sorry?
Little happinesses as well.
Yeah. And this one, I like this one very much. I think it's a beautiful piece.
That's another one where you're.
And again, you've got the tension, you've got the background. Without that, it wouldn't be so interesting. Not to me. And then something of the character of Dover. Well, the gardens up the top, the allotments up the top there. This is typical of the London Road. On the other side, these lovely steps. That's
glorious.
Everyday business going on, the second hand, because there's something happening here. The door's open. They're moving stuff in.
Have you thought of producing a book of them?
Well, no, I haven't really.
It's always a step for a photographer, isn't it?
It's a big step.
First.
You've got to
You have to
It's a big
choose
step
them.
financially.
Well,
And then getting a publisher and all that kind of thing. It's quite a bit. But the latest thing is self-publishing, isn't it?
There's websites such as blurb.com where you can self-publish.
And then there are these zines, which are sort of done cheaply, as cheaply as possible, photocopies. So there are...
I produce my own book.
Yeah, I would, yeah. Yes.
But the only problem is if you've got ink, your ink's going to cost you a fortune, self-publishing.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah. But if these zines, you do it photocopy, which is the cheapest way I think you could possibly do.
Your best bet would be to invest in a printer.
Well, that's a big outlay. That's a big outlay to get a really professional printer. Yeah, sorry, yeah. That's right. Have we finished?
I think that's us done then.
Okay, pleasure. What do you say your name is?
Terry.
Terry. Nice to meet you again, yeah.
And you, Simon.
Well, I know Simon, I know you.
Thank you.
Everyone knows you, don't they, Simon?
Thank you.
So what do you do then? Is this a hobby, a part-time, or your professional?
Part-time hobby.
Okay, right.
Simon's been doing it since the very beginning.
Inaugurated it.
Oh, right. It sounds a great idea. I must look it up online.